This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages, right here on the house that Kamurai built. It's time for the Vlogcast. And I am Kamurai. I have your person on your screen there, or in your ears, where you've let me be. This is where I get together with myself and talk about me in kind of a forced habit at this point. Uh, about once a week. About my life and things. And I know this past week has been busy, but for the life of me, I was trying to actually do it beforehand so I would have notes of a sort. And see, I'm trying to look at the calendar. If I look like I'm looking over things funny, then that's what it is. And I thought I'd lost a tripod. I broke a tripod, which is actually kind of a funny story that I can't share. And I thought I lost this little one that I have. I'd show you, but well, I guess I can still show you. Um, it's just a tiny one. Um, that was kind of a ridiculous camera angle. And I thought I'd lost it, if I'm being honest, because it's so small. It was at the bottom of the bag. Because I actually have like an army duffel where I keep my tripods, or I did keep my tripods and things, because I had two that were in boxes. I recently lost a camera, and the what actually went wrong was that the memory card slot started failing. So, being I couldn't get it to work otherwise, I started taking it apart to just see what I could do about it. And then the camera is put together so crazily that not only do you have like this 13, 16 part process to undo it, but is that the recorder, the speaker or whatever here ended up snapping off, and I don't feel like soldering on wires to something that doesn't work in general, so I'm pretty sure this is done. It's been sitting on my desk as a general reminder that I can't have nice things. But I've got that ended up being my main camera for quite some time. My main camera before that ended up having like this grindy, clicky noise that just amped up and up. And that one still takes good video, and I have it still. In fact, it's right there. It's a Lortec Cinecam, and I don't recommend it, but it was a good, reliable camera for quite some time. And the camera that I actually ended up really liking was the same one that I dropped, and the screen broke, and then it just took its toll. And this one I actually really liked because the battery was on the back. I enjoyed that. Did I get the memory card out of here? That might be important. Yeah. Um, and that way I could actually do extended power packs, like this one, because this is about twice the size of the battery that does come with it. And I found replacements and everything, and I'm actually kind of pissed that I can't use them because the cameras that I bought by trying to reorder that camera, which are in the other room, I'm not going to bother going to get them. They're also Bell and Howell, and they're basically the same specs, but they seem like a cheaper version that they used to replace that camera. And that camera I ended up getting specifically because I found an article saying there was a defect with it. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll probably get it cheap, and then I can try this little experiment. The experiment was like how to see through clothes on YouTube, or like that's the video. You can go find it. They mentioned some things, and on the because it was just such an interesting idea that could happen. That could be a thing, and it turns out there's like some filter in there that they didn't put in. So I found what I thought was one of the cameras. I ended up getting a hold of the exposed negative film or whatever it was, and it didn't work. But it was still a good camera. I liked it. It had the rear thing on the back, and the other ones don't. So they just will not last as long without an external battery pack. And if I can get in the power packs that I ordered, and I'm trying to remember what they're called. I don't know if they were Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Maybe the one thing on Indiegogo that I got, and I'm actually kind of upset about it. So I don't like using Indiegogo because the one time I really did it, like it did not work out for me so far because it really feels like it was just why did I do this? Um, the Pedialyte Flux is what I'm talking about. It's the world's fastest charging battery, which may not even be true anymore. The whole point was that you could get 15 minutes would give you a whole day's charge. and that seemed like such an interesting thing. I wanted it for last VidCon, and it looks like we're coming up on the next VidCon, and I'm still not going to have it. Whether or not I go is another matter entirely. It's so soon. Like, I need to pick up RTX tickets rather badly because I'm afraid they're going to be gone if I don't do it soon. So I need to do that, and I'm considering refunding my VidCon tickets to pay for RTX, just because I don't think I'm going to be able to reasonably afford the flight. I'm very concerned about that. And I swore I wouldn't go back to VidCon without friends. And like that whole struggle has been there because in my head I don't know who's really my friend when it comes down to it. Like, I'm sorry if you're watching this and you have an issue with that. Fix this frame a little bit. Um, but people are trying and or it seems like they're trying. I don't know. I don't know how to really go about it anymore. I'm just so disconnected in that sort of sense that like I can't tell when people are just using me or whatever. So I'm trying to write it out. I'm trying to be positive about things, and for whatever the actuality of it was, but it felt like we had planned out it was going to be me and two of the Weirdling girls. We were like, hey, let's all go and have a good time, and like I feel like I convinced them to go the executive level, not executive level, the industry level. So like part of me feels obligated to go because I convinced them up into it. Um, but I don't like even if we did all go, even if we are friends, like we're obviously not gonna spend the whole time together. It's a convention. Everybody has different things they want to do. They'll have business stuff there. Oh, Shannon and Katie and Ben are supposed to be going too. Of Electrifying. Um, I forgot about that. So like they're gonna be people. They're all gonna be close, and I know that they're not gonna want to hang around old me, and um, it's just whatever it is. It's I'm happy to accept the reality of whatever it is, but like it's always the question. Um, so going to that convention and like the whole thing, it doesn't feel worth it. I kind of want to go just to get the industry level experience, but then I think I'm done. Like I really think that will be it for me for VidCons, unless I go and like I'm contributing to something, like I'm part of a network or like I'm there on my own. And like even this time, I wanted to have like business cards, or a business card at least, so that people could take pictures and be like, hey, like here's my thing, because that's what I really need is just a not an IRC code. Is that what it's called? The square barcodes. That's what I really need. I just need to attach that to my badge and have people scan it and be like, hey, this takes you to my page that tells you about everything. And that's the other thing I realized I need to do. Um, so okay, this is a good segue. I have a like a test website that I use. It's my website. It has me. It has information on me. It has projects that I'm working on here and there. It's what I use for people to download things. It's where my tabletop simulator mods download from. And I finally broke through a wall that I've been beaten on forever, working with ASP.NET MVC, trying to get a model to work for a database. And the requirements for this sort of thing are ridiculous. I really hate it. It is not fun. It's not good. It's very tedious to have all this automated processing, which sounds oxymoronic. But the automated processing that it uses is really difficult to use. It's not intuitive. And if you once you learn it, yeah, sure, there's some extreme advantages to it, but eh, like I could really just do without it. Like the web forms seem to be a good place. I love PHP. I like working with even CGI and Perl. Like they just have elegance in the organization and architecture of it all. And MVC is kind of like the fascist Hitler of web development. It's like you will do it this way, and who will like it? And it's like no, 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 hail MVC. Bad Hitler. Um, sorry, it's so funny to do that because it's obviously an exaggeration of the character of a character. It's Hitler's not funny in of himself, but put in the proper context, almost anything's funny. And then like the old argument, no, let's not do that joke. There's an old adage about it at this point, but I don't really like it that much. I don't know why it comes to mind so often. Um, so I've finally broken through that, so I just have to get the other databases to work on MVC, and then I can go through it. But I've realized I've got to update a media page that just has all my stuff. Like I've got, if you're seeing the video, I've got all this stuff that's almost crowding me at this point. Like honestly, yeah, this could actually be a lot smaller and go away even, because I could just be like, hey, I'm camera, and that's it. That's all this says. And then down here, I've got the YouTubey stuff. And then above that, I've got all the other live streaming services, and then I've got the audio and the non things. I don't have the tumblers there, but that would be like another 2 or 3 lines because I think we Movie Club technically has a Tumblr, but I don't have solid control over that yet. And I was about to reach out and be like, can we just put that under the right email? And I don't. I imagine that if I bring it to that person's attention, it's not going to go well. So that's my concern there. I don't really need it. If we actually come up with a need of it, I'll then broach the topic. Yes, I tend to use a cup that chromas out because I think it's funny. I like it. What I probably need to do is like put little like googly eyes on the cup and like a smiley face or something to break it up just a little bit because that may be even funnier. Um, so web development stuff is actually proceeding, which is nice to have that. So I'm having to recreate the databases because of the requirements that MVC has is that it has to be whatever the object that the table represents, um, and then with an S on the end. So like for foxes, that really bothers me. Like it's a bad convention because it's dependent on the English language. So right now it has its own set of databases in all the different SQL languages I'm working with. But hopefully I'll either bring the other ones on par with MVC because they can use whatever. They're not limited. Or I'll just let it have its own and just be done with that because I don't like the concept of it. I don't think tables need to do that. Leave your sister alone. If she doesn't want to play, she doesn't want to play. Wee Black has been getting feisty. It was really strange. The other night, um, I just heard like for an extended period of time. Like I thought they had pulled a bookcase or something or the table on top of them, and like someone's back was broken. I was really concerned for somebody's well being, and I get to the living room, and I think everyone was at the back door because I've got the blinds lifted enough so they can like sit at the thing and peek out. And apparently, some asshole cat who's at least as big as Pig, if not bigger, came by to see what was up. He was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And nobody appreciated him. And I opened the door and it screened. I didn't just let them fight, so that they could sniff at each other if they wanted to. Nobody liked that. Everyone started running and freaking out. Maybe because they didn't like the door sound, but I would think because the cat was out there. But he didn't even fuck off. He went about 2 to 3 feet away, and he looked up at my kitchen window, which I'm assuming means that they've been climbing up there when they're not supposed to be. And here comes Ivory, who just wants a drink of my water, and is going to get it. So she's going to leave, and she's going to bump the camera, because now I've got it on the desk, on the tripod, instead of up on top of the monitor or down in front, because I didn't like looking over the camera. And up there, it's not a bad position, but it feels like it's just too far away. And maybe for playing video games, it's not so bad because I use the green screen to chroma it out. And it's not a big deal. But for this, it feels like it's too far away. Oh my god, this is adorable. So that's Ivory, and she has decided, no, don't run away, you fucker. Um, I'm not used to running the cord here yet. The cord was banging into her was the problem. Um, so I'm back here. But she decided that she was going to fit under the little shelf, and it was so cute. Um, But what was I gonna say? It's yeah. So we apparently that's got to be a thing that's been happening. Is there's cats just wander into my yard because I have a yard now where things might wander. Um, and so the cats are gonna deal with that, and I'm gonna deal with that, and it's gonna be whatever it is. Yeah, eventually I'll be framed correctly. Uh, um, so it's interesting, dude. I've never heard them make that sound before, so it was actually really disturbing. And Little especially has been a lot more vocal lately. I'm not sure why, but she's also getting more friendly. She's getting more domineering about being friendly. So she's not afraid to come up and just, hey, I want pets now, which is interesting. And then people are finding, or not people, but cats are finding spots finally. Like this is my spot. Um, and some of them share. Like Ivory and Tux pal around like nobody's business. Wee Black is kind of more of a loner now. She tolerates Pig probably more than anybody, but she doesn't like it when he tries to play with her. What is your fucking problem, cat? Um, because he's too rough because he's used to playing with Ivory and Tux, and the story with that is, well, that was Tux and Pig fighting, is that when they were little, Ivory was this huge monster compared to all the other kittens, and so she would just beat the shit out of everyone else. And then she was just big enough to be domineering on top of that. And then eventually Pig outgrew her, and he would just lay into her and like not lay into her like swipe at her, but he'd just lean against her and win because he ended up outgrowing her by that much. And even now, like she's still a little bit smaller, but she's definitely the more dominant. But it was them that like wrestled the most out of all the kittens, and then Tux does it too. But he is a lot more crafty about it. So occasionally he'll get like into little bouts with Little or Wee Black, and I think that's okay. But I think Ivory is definitely too rough. She only seems to play like that at least with Tux or Pig, and she's smart enough to figure that out, which I like. But Pig likes to play with everyone because he's just a big, dumb, friendly cat. But to him, play is I'm gonna bite and scratch you now, because that's how we play. Um, and the other cats don't like that as much. And then I think Wee Black gets it to an extension, so she extends it out to Rooster and Little, and they don't like it. Rooster, I've seen Rooster do it a couple times. I've seen him and CT do that, but they seem to be have a very retarded understanding of what it is to be a cat, especially compared to the other ones, and what it is to play. Like the string is everyone's favorite toy. It's how I taught Little and CT to play, because it seemed like they didn't understand it before that. But Rooster's afraid of it. He gets real jumpy at some weird things, and it's like you're a retarded cat. Oh my god. But they those him and his sister are very different from the other cats. And I thought Little was actually pretty close to them, but like she's her own weird little beast. Ugh. But let's see. Games wise, has been weird. Let's start there. Not been putting a lot of effort into being social through gaming lately. Other than, of course, I was in the D&D Harry's Hillsdale campaign um, last night for Mayhem's Muse, which is great. There are some things brewing up with that. We're going to be doing a very special edition of Gaming Together. Jen and Mika have been kind enough to make some time in their schedule. Garrett's going to come down as well, Mika's guy. And I'm going to host, and we're going to have some fun beating the shit out of each other in video games. And Jen seems very concerned that it's not a Sony controller she'll be holding, but I'm going to put Xbox controllers in their hands, and it will be fine. I promise. I promise that will be the fact. I will probably still use my wired controller, but I think I have 4 wireless. We may go 4 wireless just to be completely fair, but I've got to get that reset up because I don't know if I've done it since I moved. I just recently reinstalled OBS, some minicam, and everything on that computer, so it's good to go. And I need an opportunity to do that. I also finished up Darkened Sky over on Gaming Division. It's a horrible mess of a video. I don't recommend people watch it, but it was fun for me to do, and I wasn't going to not stream it, but it was just a weird situation because I had to capture part of the screen instead of doing, like, especially a whole monitor or the game natively, which is what I should have been doing. And I think if I can capture the game natively, I have a lot more flexibility because I did some tests with fighties, and I did all the way up to 1080 true, and I was fine with pretty minimal loss. You could follow the action fairly well. Um, and I think I may do 1080 downgraded to 720 just to make more sense, but I've got to make a decision about using the restream versus it before next Wednesday because that's when the ladies and Garrett are coming over and we're going to play against each other and it'll be a good time. Um, so I've really got to make a decision. I think for that one, it may make more sense to restream and just wait until it starts going, and then go. Yeah, I think that's how we'll probably end up doing it. Just because that computer is not as good, so I've got to get the stream keys set up so that I have that option. I'm gonna have to take one of the monitors from in here and hook it up in there as well. Um, which honestly, I wouldn't mind getting another monitor one day. 'Cause I really can't afford it right now. I can afford some things. I'm not saying I'm broke. I'm saying that I budget and plan out things, and well, come here so that I can reach you, you idiot. Every time we're on a Vlogcast thing or something, you do this, and then you act surprised. That's what I'm gonna do. Because you want me to just bend over and pet you, and I'm obviously not gonna do it because I never do it. Never. I try to reach down and pet you, and then you don't want anything to do with me by laying down and then watching my hand flail. Or I bring you up on my lap or something. Yeah? Right? Now you don't even want to look at me. Alright, so if I roll back my chair just enough and I put you in my lap, maybe that'll be good. Let me adjust how I'm sitting. I don't like how I've been sitting in chairs lately. I do this weird slouch thing and my butt scoots forward and I lose the arch in my back, and this looks like how a human should sit. And if I put the camera up, it'll be fine. Of course, he's going to wander up on the desk because he's an asshole. And then he's going to figure out that he doesn't have anywhere to go. So, and we don't have the corner set up. I'm mad about that. I'm actively upset. I'm going to put that stupid thing in my car, and I'm going to stop at Home Depot tomorrow, probably on the way into work. Yeah. And I'm going to get screws for it, and I'm going to fix the goddamn thing so it's there. So, yeah. And honestly, I probably need to work at moving this. But now that I've got the green screen widened, this can actually move backwards, I think. Oh, yeah? Yep, see, you can barely tell. But, it gives me some more wiggle room. I can actually not put this here. I can actually put it behind the desk. And I think you'd be fine because I have the opportunity to move the camera farther down. And this extends way out there. If I move see, and I could do shots like this now. So that's a duffel in the corner that's looking all fucked up. But I mean, you see how long this brick wall is that I have in my place right now. I'm sorry for Meerkat and Periscope people. I can only do so much until they let me stream to there from my computer as well, and then I will. Because I can. Yeah, for people that aren't familiar, I don't see anything in chats or anything. It's very much that I stream to several different places at once, and then I archive it onto YouTube and SoundCloud and Podbean because I can. That's the best answer to any question. Is why do you do that? Because I can, and I have the desire to do so. It doesn't matter that how many people or how popular I am, or out of how many people that do see this actually engage or want me to be doing this, because I'm going to keep doing it. I do it for me. I do it as an exercise. This one particularly is an exercise. I force myself to talk about me and my life for about 30 minutes a week, and it's good exercise. It helps remember things a little bit too. It was a very busy weekend as I was trying to get through Darkened Sky. I was working on tabletop simulator mods, not so much an extension of Super Dungeon Explorer or Ninja All Stars yet, because I forgot to everything going on. I forgot to research and look for board images because that's the only thing holding me back right now. If I can get the board in, then I can do pretty much everything else, and it'll be fine. And I will cut that board if I have to because I feel like it won't ruin everything. Like I can still play with it in real life if I want to, and I'll have the option to play online, which I'd rather do anyways if we're being honest. So there's that, but I've got games in development of my own, and instead of trying to look and push these into production, I was trying to get them into GameBox so they can go through an extended period of testing, but I think I'm going to end up doing it through tabletop, which has required me to do title artwork, which I'm also not good at in addition to normal artwork. My friends helped me out with a little bit of things. I actually have a meeting right after this with them, and we're going to talk about some of the layouts and the designs and whatnot that I've got going on. I'm going to get some feedback from them, and hopefully this won't be such a bad thing. What was I going to say? But yeah, so once I get the 4 simple games in there, I've got another game that's done. I've actually done a little bit of testing with it. It needs more testing because it always needs more testing. But Monster Office Workplace, the simple assets are done. The problem is that the game requires tiles that are not rectangularly shaped. The way I've circumvented that in the other mods for right now is that I've just taken a square mod and loaded a triangle picture or hexagon picture or whatever, because it doesn't hurt the game to do that. These need to fit together, so it does hurt the game if they're not perfectly shaped. So I'm going to have to look at like tutorials for Blender and figure that one out, and just I'm going to have to do it. Pisses me off. The other game is pretty much ready for testing, but I had professional level art going on for it, and we've only gotten through a couple sets. So, yeah, and that's gonna stop. I'm gonna continue that on. I'm gonna have to find another artist, and that's fine. She's a lovely person. She just can't handle doing it all, and it's not cost effective for both of us. So if I can find someone in Fiverr, I might do that. But I'm so picky when I keep looking at Fiverr. It's like, well, I'm paying, I want it just right. But for someone who's not Daniel Dan Verona, I think about $10 is my limit. That looks like it's about $5 to draw, $5 to ink, and I just don't know how far we're gonna be able to go with it, because it needs to write a line and not be infringing, because Disney doesn't own the original rights to any of their material. The material that makes Disney famous, they don't own the original rights to. They're not original products. They're retellings of stories from, like, Brothers Grimm, things they don't actually own the rights to. Like, no one owns the rights to Little Mermaid anymore, because the Brothers Grimm originally did. I think it was Brothers Grimm, and it's been so long that it's in the free market now, but since Disney has appropriated the title into existing work, the movies have likeness and legal issues with that. So if you were to mimic the Little Mermaid, you could actually even call it the Little Mermaid, I believe, as long as you're not making a movie or a TV show at this point. And being like, hey, it's my telling of the original thing, so you could do a play, like, no doubt, or you could do a web series, or there's several things you could do, and as long as you're not ripping off the likeness of Disney's movies, like, there's the thing. So that becomes the gray area, and that's the area I'm trying to sit in to get this art done, and I think I'm gonna have to put placement art down. Which is the same set that I'm in for the web series thing that I'm going to start. I'm trying to push these other projects out of the way, so the simple games that I can get done, I want to get done and get them in Tabletop Simulator. so that they're there. And then I want to work on this web series that I want to write and do, which is based off an epic of Super Dungeon Explorer. So if I can get the voice work back from the ladies, and it may be like, hey, while I've got them there, it's like, can we take 5 minutes and read this and just go? Because I don't need great audio. It's all stuff that's going to have to be replaced. Because all I'm trying to do is build a proof of concept, saying, "Hey, I can do this. Like this is how it pieces together, and this is what it's going to look like." And I can do bad art, and I can do bad art and have it transition like I do. Because the whole point of it is to be a visual novel, essentially. Um, yeah, and I don't want to put choices in or anything. It's not going to be a game. It's a series. So that whole thing is going to be fantastic if I can ever get it off, get it started, and it'll also be really fun to play through. Gladly spend my time uh, playing through that campaign with myself, because that's probably how it's going to be. Um, to get the storyline done for that, it's going to be great. Kind of had like a little date thing on Saturday. It was really nice. Really enjoying spending time with this girl, and it's going well. So it is what it is. But it's neither one of us are being very serious about it. No, not necessarily like committing to like just that. But we're enjoying each other's time and company, and that's what I really like and enjoy about it right now is that we seem to be like-minded in certain aspects, and I'm enjoying finding that out. And we're supposed to be watching, I think, Top Hat. She forgot her movies last time, so we watched Sweeney Todd, and if she remembers them this time, I think it's gonna be Top Hat is what she said she wanted to watch. So she's into like musicals and stuff, and as much as I've claimed to be anti-musical, I think I'm anti-musical of a certain era, and that's when I was growing up, and I'm much more open to them now. But like the amount of Disney movies, things like Men in Tights, not that I like Men in Tights, but it's an example of a musical you may enjoy. Um, and like Moulin Rouge, Sweeney Todd. There are probably several others that I'm like, oh yeah, oh Into the Woods, Less Miserable, less. I get upset when people say it wrong, so it makes me doubly ashamed that I said it wrong. Les Miserables, Les Miserables, Les Miserables, I think is how you say it in French. But it's the one where Anne Hathaway gets her head shaved and is dying prostitute or something. Hugh Jackman is the male lead, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, Fantastic movies. The singing doesn't bother me. It actually adds to it. When you aren't doing arbitrary singing, like it actually works out. Like in Sweeney Todd, is that the one I'm thinking of? They actually like are talking. Like it's everyone just pretends they're talking. No, that's not what I'm thinking of at all. Uh, oh, I'm thinking the Muppets. Like it's just a normal thing, and then Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. That's entirely another thing. It's like they literally like are having conversations through music, and they don't acknowledge it. But like in the Muppets, they actually go, "Hey, I just did a whole song about that." So it's a fun. It's fun. Looking forward to think seeing her tomorrow. So yay. Other things that are coming up because not only do we have Game Together next Wednesday, Lady Deverona has invited me out to karaoke with her karaoke group, which is slightly intimidating because it's a group of her old established friends. But I'm highly appreciative of the offer to even go, and I'm not one to turn down new experiences just because they are new experiences. Um, I tend to like the idea of control of I feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing this, and this has very much been a scheduled thing. It's got a set time. It's what it is, and so I've got to try to be nice and courteous on time. But it does take me to my first new friend in Austin, which was a very nice seamstress lady, Taylor. I don't know what you call her, named Kim. And I had some good talks with her, and I enjoyed hanging out with her. She's not a younger lady. I say that not that she's an old lady, but that she is just older than me, and like probably 40 to 50, somewhere in that in those eight. Sorry, probably somewhere from 40 to 60. She's Korean, I believe. Yeah. Uh, Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're not used to seeing that. Um, and spotting those age differences. But she's a very nice lady. Really had some fun talking to her. So she works in her shop about 2 3 doors down from the karaoke place that Danielle's talking about. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to go early and see Kim for a little bit, and then head over to karaoke with Danielle and her friends. And I'm very interested to see what it turns into. And being someone that doesn't drink at this type of place, I'm curious what the experience is really going to be like. But it's supposed to be like a hard 7 to 10. Um, so as long as I don't start yawning and being old, I'm going to try to hang out the whole time and just get the full experience. And then I'll come and do a vlogcast right after that. So I'll be able to report in fresh about my karaoke experience. Yeah. So gaming together and next Wednesday and Thursday will be very interesting. And of course, Friday and tonight, after I get done with this, I gotta meet with Kevin and Kat about gaming stuff, and then I'm gonna be playing Sun Age with Dr. Kane. He's not gonna bring the pain for me, but he's gonna try to teach me about the game a little bit because he spent a lot more time with it than I have. I've completed 1.5 missions. But I'm looking forward to getting back into RTS. But I wanted to play something that I know is going to run and capture well. So I'm going to do Sun Age, and then I think after that I'm going to break and do something that is not an RTS, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do probably something like quicker, like either Dust and Elysium Tail, because I actually really want to get back to that, or Rocket Birds, because that seemed fun. Something along those lines, and then I'll go and I'll do Warcraft, and then I'll probably swap back and forth for a while. But I wanted to go back and do Warcraft before I do Warcraft 2 and 3, because I just ordered like Warcraft 1 and 2. So I probably have like my next couple months of games lined up, because once I get through the Blizzard, or at least Warcraft, I'm gonna either go and do StarCraft or Dawn of War, and then maybe finish out in StarCraft. I don't know. Being that I just bought a bunch of older Blizzard games, I feel obligated to make sure that they get used. Yeah. So we'll have to see how long it takes me to actually get through these campaigns. Um, just with the amount of time you actually have as an adult, it's a shame that you have to like schedule it out. But I'm really just gonna try to harp on it whenever I can and see if I can get through it. And hopefully we'll get that. But again, juggling so many different projects and stuff, and I want to get to that web series, and everything takes time. And for whatever reason, I've built this life that doesn't use time in a conventional manner. I feel like I'm actually taking time out on credit, so that I have to make up time later continuously. And I have time for this and time for that, and if I choose to do, or that I want to do something else, I have to take time away from something else to do it. And that's, I guess, the downside of living a full life, if that's what you want to call this. And then I have like adult responsibilities, like if I gotta try to maintain this house, and pay attention to the kitties once in a while because they like that. Okay, fine, you don't like your foot touched. Yeah, she seemed really upset. She may have been asleep. That may have been the problem. Occasionally they just lay there and like you can't really tell. Now she's getting up and coming over, and it's not really what I wanted. Yeah, she's stretching like she just woke up. I just wanted to pet her or give her a little bit of attention because it was timely and due. But I am running over. I started late and I'm running later than I expected, so I've got people waiting on me. I finished that this night. I will report back on the many things and stuff going on in my life next week, and of course you can catch me in any number of these places. Between now and next week, I need to get that web page up, even if it's just the PHP version, so that I can be like, go here and you can see all my stuff, and I can just start doing that instead of trying to name a dozen things. But if you want to find out more about me right now, yell at me on the Twitters at Kamurai25. and it's what it do. Yeah, that's not a thing I say. I don't know why I did. But until you see me next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.